Welcome to Heralds of Elysium, a tabletop channel from Loot and Lattes. Let's talk cards, decks, and tactics.
So I guess this is our first attempt at sort of podcast.
Yeah,
See where it goes.
I mean,
That
we're gonna sit and talk about cards. We might as well record it.
yeah, we for sakes talk about cards a lot.
I mean, that comes with my territory of working in game stores and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't get to play as much as I want to, but
me trying to become somewhat good at the game. So what events did you play last week? In
the classic copying from somebody else. What'd you play at locals this week? But I actually got two
no,
locals in, and I played 6 whole rounds of locals,
not
unlike others.
not just Grand Archive, like other stuff.
I played some Commander.
Yeah.
You know, I've been liking the Sonic the Hedgehog deck that Tolarian Academy made.
Yeah. I think I played pretty much all the stuff you did. I played a little bit of Commander. I wasn't too into the Commander that night though. I was a little tired.
That's fair. I mean, I switch up my Commander decks quite a bit, but
Yeah, I was on Ashling, the new precon. And
that deck
then
is mean.
yeah. And then I also played at our locals for Grand Archive. Both of
Two
them.
locals, yeah.
Yeah. Trying to get a third and potentially a fourth, would be awesome. We're pretty
I'd like that. I'd also just like each of them to be at over
bigger.
8 players.
Yeah.
I mean, the every other Monday one being at 8 to 10 players is probably fine. We're never getting another round. But the Wednesday one, here in a while, we'll probably do more rounds if that's
Look,
fair.
if we had like
I mean,
20,
it will kill some of the
if we had
Cinderellas in the group.
if we had 28 players at the Monday one, they would laugh at us if we suggested another round. By the time we're done, they're already closed for like 30 minutes anyway.
Right, but on the other hand, they're going to stay till midnight every other week
For
for Rift
Riftbound.
Round. So,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
I think it's due to the fact that the Riftbound players buy every product they can touch,
Yeah, yeah, probably. Because
and
no
it's
store
really just me and you that buy cards out of the case.
and no store can get enough Riftbound.
Yeah, but they changed the rules that the mixed languages can be there, so that should help with acquisitions because you can get the Chinese and the English product, and eventually they'll dial in their
I
printing
almost
runs.
I almost got the Chinese copies of Resolute Sands. Have you seen those cards?
No, I'm sure they look good. Chinese looks good on a decent amount of the cards. Chinese looks really good because Magic had those for a while,
Well, they're promos, so
especially if you can get simplified Chinese. I don't know if Grand Archive does simplify Chinese,
I don't
but
remember if
there
it's
was a whole
simplified.
set of promos that were released for Magic the Gathering that were in simplified Chinese and like because it's bigger and bolder characters and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
it looked gorgeous. Just
yeah.
like some cards, Russian is like the absolute best language ever.
Dude, I would kill for some Russian cards.
And then
I love the way Russian.
specifically with Ball of Lightning, German is the only way to go.
This is the language tech,
Like,
but
but that's because you can. It's not a problem, especially if you're playing promos and staples to have mixed languages in your
yeah.
deck. Like, and it
Oh,
wasn't a problem, and that was when we couldn't look up cards easily.
yeah.
Now that everybody has indexes for every game sitting on their phone that's already in their hand, they might as well use it for something
Yeah.
important.
I mean, for Pokemon, I can't remember what it is, but
Pokemon is because the backs are different.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they're not fundamentally the same card,
Yeah, yeah.
and they come out at different times.
Well,
And
I
then
would
Yu-Gi-Oh is also different because they literally have different cards.
well, I would say I really would if I was playing Pokemon, I would have a full like I think it's French deck because some of those cards are hilariously like
I can see that.
I think what is it? Magikarp's name is like no, it's Goldine's name is Pussy Pussy. So
I mean, I haven't played Pokemon in a long
I've
time, but I went to when Pokemon first came out, me and my buddy went to the Boulder Mall, which doesn't exist anymore, for
yeah.
the release. They had a release event, and they
Okay.
had different tables that you could sit at. And the rule was if you lost at the tables, you had to get up and go back to the back of the line. And they had a beginners, intermediate, and advanced section.
Yeah.
Having played as much Magic as we did and everything else, we just sat in the advanced section. We sat at different tables. And after like an hour and a half or something like that, they're like, you need to leave. And I was like, well, I'm not cheating. I haven't broken the rules and I'm in the advanced section. I completely understand if I was
Yeah.
beating people up in the noob section, but that's not what we're at. And like, they're like, no, it's not okay. Like, you're too old to be playing this game. Now, at that time, because that's when it came
That
out.
was probably right.
Right. Yeah. No, I was 15 or 16.
Oh, okay.
So, no,
No,
really
never mind.
wasn't that bad at all. Like, yeah, if I was still sitting at the little kids beginner section, I could see the point. But
Yeah.
we were trying to make versions of good magic decks in Pokemon.
Oh.
So like you'd like Poliwhirl was very much like the Tradewind Rider deck of the time where you bounced their stuff back to their hand.
Yeah.
And then just there was some classic little beatdown decks. Surprisingly, as much as everybody was like, that deck is terrible, the just green poison deck with the Beedrills was just so good. And
Yeah.
then I played
I mean,
a Blastoise deck that just had the only other Pokemon besides the Squirtle Blastoise line, I think. I might have had another line, but was the Magikarp and Gyarados, because Gyarados was like way above his weight class for only being a level 2 Pokemon or level 1 alpha starter.
yeah.
I mean, obviously Magikarp is way weaker, but like, so you could get Gyarados out first and punch them several times and get your prizes, and then during those couple turns while they were dealing with that, you leveled up your Squirtle into Blastoise in the background, and then he just, did Blastoise tanky things, and it
I've
was gross.
I've never played Pokemon. I played the Pocket TCG game, which I thought was like the regular Pokemon game. Found out completely different game. Does not play anything like it. There's no prize cards. There's no. It's just like an inherently different game.
I mean, really, the prize card mechanic out of Pokemon is what a lot of card designers have considered later, and even ones that touch a similar thing
Yeah.
don't do it in that order again because it's a win more mechanic.
Yeah.
Like if you're ahead, it's more likely you stay ahead because you get card advantage and everything else.
Yeah. I don't know what the prize card. I don't know how Pokemon works. So
So in Pokemon, one of the first things you do is you set a card side 6 cards. They're your prizes.
okay.
Every time you knock out an opposing Pokemon, you get one of those.
Oh, okay. Is it random or is it always the same one?
No, no, you don't get to see them.
Hmm.
So you would shuffle up, present your deck, and then you just take the top 6 cards and then your prizes.
Oh, okay.
This is also why it's notorious if you watch any of their upper level gameplay
Yeah.
at like their worlds and stuff like that, where they get to untimed rounds. It's gross because Pokemon is full of like 1,000 tutors.
Yeah.
So their very first tutor, they go through their entire deck list and they can write down what their prizes are.
Oh.
So it's like 20 minutes of notes.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
There was was it Duel Monster or was it Duel Monsters?
Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, Wizards had another one out, 2014-ish game that was kind of similar to Pokemon,
Hmm.
but it didn't do the bench things, but you attacked in rows, and they had what was similar to the prize system, but the way you drew, if one of your guys was knocked out and you couldn't draw one of those cards is when you lost.
Oh.
But so when your guys got out, you drew one of your like prizes. It wasn't called prizes in there, but it was a catch up mechanic
bait.
instead of a catch in mechanic.
Yeah.
So if you went too fast ahead, you would feel your opponent and they could have better answers to you. So it was always who blinked first and for what reasons.
Yeah.
And that was a better game than it seemed like, at least for the first 2 sets. And then like as they kept going, it just got
There's so
more
many
degenerate.
there's so many card games where you see them go through like one or two sets and it seems really promising and then the third set drops and you're like, "Oh my God, this is terrible."
Yeah, I mean that's I mean, that's kind of the make or break, and it's where we'll see with Riftbound because they added a lot to their second set equipment and everything
Yeah,
else like that. And if they additional fundamental changes to what you're accessible in the game, it might be too much too fast.
yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I love about Grand Archive so much is they're almost on their ninth set, RDO coming out in what, a month or
Yeah,
so?
April,
Yeah. So
April 3rd.
it's coming out relatively soon with their ninth set, and I can't recall any point in the game where I really thought this set kind of sucks.
I mean, I've only been playing since July, so
I've I played like the last week of MRC and all of AMB. So,
I mean, I think I played one time before Distorted Reflections came out,
yeah.
and then that came out.
But
Then
Distorted Reflections, a lot of people consider to be one of the best sets for Grand Archive so
I
far.
didn't think I was gonna like it because I mean, I don't hate Alice in Wonderland, but it's not my favorite. I think it's way
Overdone.
overdone.
Yeah.
And
That's what I've heard a couple people say, and then they see the art for the game and they see the theming for the game, and it's not like a one-to-one recreation of Alice in Wonderland. It's like they put their own spin on it.
and it actually covered the books more. Not that I've actually read the books. I have listened to people that are more literary go over what's different from the books and things like that.
Yeah,
I don't read as many books anymore. Shockingly enough, I'm going blind. It takes a lot more work on me.
yeah. But I really enjoyed DTR season quite a bit. I still wish that Rile the Abyss didn't get banned because Rile the Abyss was probably my favorite meta of the entire game. Um, as a Fire Jin enjoyer, that was like the only time Fire Jin was arguably one of the best decks in the game. Um, now the only downside to it is Merlin, one of my least favorite decks in the game, was the best deck in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
But banning Ryle, she still was one of the best decks in the game for DTR.
but I think even if it cut off some of those things, it showed everybody that you could do your own thing and play
Yeah.
the level 3 decks, and it broke people out of
Only playing level one,
yeah,
like
the mindset
fractals.
that is what I heard and saw as I was getting into the game, which was kind of putting me off because I've been in Magic seasons that were limiting like that.
Yeah.
And one of the showcases that I really like of Grand Archive is the leveling of the champions and the advanced elements and the
Yeah.
story that each of their decks
I
kind of
mean,
go with.
I think the Doomer level one decks are better than level three decks. Mentality is always present in every single season when a level one deck does relatively fine, or even just a spirit deck.
I think it's just because it's scary because it takes less. I want to say resources, but this game that the aggro decks are almost more expensive than the control decks, which is an unusual thing for the
Yeah.
most part. I mean,
I
so
mean, I think a part of that is the expensive cards that you're looking at in aggro decks are going to be basic element cards that every deck has access to, so they tend to be a little bit more expensive.
yeah, but like I mean, specifically fire, which was the big aggro deck before Wind Wake Up. Even though Wind Wake Up was a thing at various times, I understand.
I think what most people consider most the best aggro deck for a long time was Fractals. Some people don't consider it like a true aggro deck, but old Fractals, that deck killed you on turn two.
I mean, that just sounds like tempo combo, and
Maybe.
that's what at least the new fractals, because I didn't really play with the
The
old one.
the new Fractals is definitely harder in the control
Yeah,
section.
yeah, I understand it's slower, but I mean, I could see even just being faster, it feels very much like a tempo game. Like
Yeah.
you're doing small plays that just give you the slight advantage so that you don't get punched as hard,
Yeah.
and then that snowballs into burst asunder your face.
So the crazy thing that could happen with old Fractals is you know how you're always like, oh man, I hope he doesn't have a three Fractal start.
No, I know, I know. But
You used to be
other
able to
people
have,
do.
you used to
Yeah,
be
no,
able to have 5 fractals on the field on turn 1, which is disgusting.
yeah, like, oh look, I got there. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, are you leveling up or
Good thing we have time for all of the other games.
are you leveling up or are you dying next turn? Make your decision now. But no, I really like that fractals is back in the meta. Because now it's more interesting fractals than it used to be. Because old fractals, the reason why a lot of people didn't like old fractals is because it was a relatively boring deck. Because if they hit the jackpot, they got a really good starting hand, they just win the game, unless you take so much tempo out of your own deck to stop them.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, obviously I didn't play against it, but now, like, not that I have a good record versus fractals, but like the game is going on for a while, and there's definitely points where I could see some plays swinging it more into my favor.
Yeah.
There's a lot more interaction.
Yeah. And new fractals, there are a lot of people taking it in different directions. I mean, I made Water Exia Gin fractals.
Right. And then there was,
There was a
yeah,
Ponytail Merlin fractals that played very similarly to the Xander fractals from um HVN, but Xander fractals was always just a little bit too weak. The Merlin fractals, you get benefits from playing fractals in Merlin because it unlocks your sword. You get a sword to beat people down with. You also just have a lot more assassin spell cards that work really well in fractals now. And having that little additional damage from the Sheens goes a long way. So I'm
you also have extra Fantasias. I mean, those don't add up the same, but they do add up for other cards.
yeah, it matters for shimmering, which is a big thing. I've been
And Glimmering, isn't Glimmering on Fantasias?
no Glimmering fractals only.
Oh, okay. Adds for Genu, though.
I could I would have to double check. Can you pull that up? Glimmering? Because it might be Fantasia's actually.
We have that technology.
Yeah. Something that I know I've been thinking about trying to do is a Kong Ming fractals, but Kong Ming fractals is a little bit weirder because you want to use um your fractal that when you shift your winds in a certain direction, um you deal 3 damage. You rest it and deal 3 damage to targeted champion. So
Come on. If my fat finger would let me type this right, but we're gonna do this a different way. Glimmering.
there it is. All right.
Negate target card action unless it's
Oh, it's
controller.
Fantasia's.
Yeah, plays extra X and then on Fantasias.
Okay, well, I've been playing fractals for like 3 weeks now, and I didn't even realize that. So
It's okay. I mean, I read cards all the time that are
yeah,
slightly different than I think.
yeah. But I think having different variants of fractals is definitely a plus side to it.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, even in just Dao-Chan fractals, it doesn't seem 100%.
Yeah,
This is what you're doing.
it gives it more of a less stale feeling going into fractals multiple rounds in a row. Um,
I mean, I'm perfectly okay if it gets a lot more popular. I will
yeah,
just completely tune a win deck just to
yeah.
like 4 Scatter Essences main, 4 Noble Dissolutions main, and we will just turbo to 3 and then just blow up everything. And I
You're
have
gonna
Calming Breezes, and we're just
you're gonna make fractals players hate their lives.
my 15 card sideboard is to deal with any deck that isn't fractals.
Look, you brought four scatter essences from the side in our matches, and I swear to God, you draw all 4 of them off the top.
No, I finally started doing that. I mean, that was just this week, but last week I did that like 4 different games we played, and I didn't see one of them.
Oh, go back to that, man. That sucked.
Same result. We still went forever, and I still lost. So I don't.
No, we went 1-1 in both tournaments.
Yeah, I guess it's true. It's there. It's recorded.
But no, for regionals coming up, I'm heavily debating on what cards I want to put into my deck, changes wise. I think because one of them's open deck list, that I'm gonna put some crazy one of in there.
I mean, that's always a good call.
Yeah. Um,
And you should put an even crazier one of in the sideboard, and then just for sure always sideboard a couple cards. And even if you just pull it out every single time, they're gonna play against the card. You just have to hold it.
yeah.
Just
I don't
something insane.
I don't know what's crazy sideboard card I'd put in.
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
know for
Have to
the
look through it, but
I know for the main board, the card that I really want to make work, and I've wanted to make it work in every Jin deck that I've ever made because I love this card conceptually, not as much as I love Desperate Cavalier. Desperate Cavalier is my favorite card in Grand Archive, but Seize Fate is such a fun card. It just reverses your HP, so it basically turns your champion into a magic planeswalker, and you have to kill it.
I think Mirebound Covenant and Tricastle in your sideboard.
Ooh, that's spicy. Try castles in.
Just so one of, because they're gonna be like, damn it, like I have to like
No,
save some Norm cards or
no.
get my S up to level 3.
What are
Like,
you talking about? They're gonna be like, "Oh, Fractal's player just played Try Castles. Okay, I kill you. What?
not necessarily.
I can't cast anything."
All you have to do is discard a card.
Yeah, I have to discard one of my like 10 non-water cards.
Yeah, but like especially if you go against like horses and taxes, they're gonna play around that card.
No, they won't. They're just gonna be like,
If you
okay,
can have the board wipe, they can't play anything.
if I get horse,
They have what? Unmake duality?
if I face horse,
Triple charge?
if
That's
I
it.
face horse and taxes, my goal is to counterspell their Vanny level 3. That is my only goal. I'm just gonna sit there and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm holding up 8 cards in hand. What are you gonna do about it?
I mean, if I was playing in an open deck list, I would put a cleansing reunion in my sideboard for sure.
Yeah, but put a cleansing reunion in my water
But
sideboard.
no, obviously because you're in water, but I'm in wind, so like that would be one of the cards for wind. I would for sure
Yeah.
just shove in there.
I was thinking about putting dredging streams in. The card that banishes target card from a
I mean,
graveyard.
that was really good.
Yeah, and it's float.
The
So
Water Kong Lean player stuttered me for a minute.
yeah.
I thought it was going to turn around, but he forgot to draw any of his card draws things. So like it was a really weird
Yeah, he stacked his deck wrong.
match. That was like because I had like the blinding lapse and I had stuff that I was planning to do to combat him having like just a ridiculous influence, and he just never had it like
Now,
at all.
something I thought about doing for
But
the
you can still
open
Mirebound Covenant is still not terrible.
for the open deck list, I was thinking about sideboarding. My entire sideboard was 15 main deck cards that just turns me from fractals into regular Jin. And
No, that's never because then it's. I mean, that even happened at a recent Magic Pro Tour. It's a classic Magic thing to do to have a transformational sideboard.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And especially at open deck list. So there was one, and it was old school pro player. I think it was Reed Duke, I believe,
Yeah.
against one of the newer school ones, and basically he had somewhat of a half transformational sideboard.
Yeah.
And there's a great video on it. I don't know if I could find it again, but it was a Schrodinger's problem into Magic because that's basically what it was. His opponent just had to decide whether what it was because the way his opponent would approach it would be completely different. Like
Yeah.
if he kept up, if he had the control package, which is what he had main,
Yeah.
like he had a certain route and it was just an easy game for him. But the other package, if he did that same route, it was an auto loss. But if he switched up his plays a little bit, then it was an auto win for the opponent.
Yeah.
And so just every round, Reduke just took his sideboard, shuffled it in, and pulled out cards again, and they just played roulette because it was a best 3 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
So and like Reduke was down, he lost the first 2 games, and then picked up the last 3
Oh wow.
by just making his opponent constantly play the Schrodinger game.
Yeah. That was a thought process I had. I just don't know what the 15 cards would be. It would be 4 Enrages, obviously, because what Jin deck doesn't run Enrage? It would have to be something Probably the Illusory Arms Master, the one that gives your weapon a spell shroud. Um, and it's just
And
another good.
another one or two cleaves.
Yeah, it could be Cleave. Cleave could go in. Um, I think I would want a little bit more engine, so maybe some floating memory, so I can imbue my Fractal of Rains. Because I think the two fractals I'd keep in the deck, regardless, would be Fractal of Rain and Fractal of Insight, and just take out.
I mean, there's a good call to keep unstable fracture because it can deal with some of the things that
No,
stop you.
that's Cleric class bonus.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's not even in the main anymore. It's just a hindered fractal. I think I'd go
I'd rather have mana than that if fractal mana than if I couldn't
Fractal
use
mana is three
unstable fractal.
costs.
Right, so is unstable.
And Stables too.
Um,
Yeah.
but it comes in hindered. So,
Yeah.
you know,
So
kind of
the
the same cost then.
kind of, but I would rather run Deep Sea Fractal if I'm running Unstable Fractal because it's just a mill. So
You could make them spend a whole lot of time reading cards and talking to their friends about what a card could do and play the one Exia fractal. Doesn't Exia have one? Or am I thinking
no,
Neos? I'm thinking Neos is
Neos.
fractal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love all right, all right. Crazy, crazy fractal design for Exia. All right. It is we'll say 3 cost fractal. I know it's not a good cost for fractals, but the effect's crazy, all right? At 5 damage, it's reservable base. At 10 damage, it reserves for 2. At 20 damage, or at 40 damage, it reserves for 3. And that's all it does. It just reserves for more. The more you're beaten up,
I think probably at 20 damage.
it reserves for 2.
No, it's just this costs one less. That's a classic Exia
Yeah,
thing. And then at like 30 damage, it reserves for 2. Or it'd
yeah,
probably be 35 knowing
yeah.
Exia cards, but
Break
like
points.
still, yeah, like so.
Yeah, either that or there's a lot of really cool things you could do with Exia.
I mean, it could be something to punching you in the face, like the fractal sparks or whatever it is.
Yeah, tap it, and deal unpreventable damage to your champion.
I can see that.
Yeah, yeah. There's so many cool things you could do with Exia. I hope that there's a tamer Exia one day.
I mean, I
Exia
would
tamer.
like to see a lot of these advanced elements go through a cycle
I
through the different classes. I mean, it'll stretch a lot of the designing things to some of their limits,
yeah.
but I mean,
Something
Exia Cleric is as a seems like a classic that should be there.
Exia Cleric is one that everyone wants. By everyone, I mean main deck Dan and me,
Hey,
because we both want Exia Arasana.
no, Lineage Break wants it too.
Okay, okay. Yeah, no,
He's a huge Arasana fan, and he'd be fine not having his Astra.
yeah. I see. I would love the one. I would
And
love.
by their own reports, he is getting all of the Arasana cards that were promos and
Yeah.
putting them in his deck, so he just has terrible Arasana cards.
That's great. No, I would love.
Cam.
I would love for a hybrid Exia Neos card that you can either have Exia or Neos in your lineage to play.
I think I think we'll see those when we get to another capstone.
Yeah,
Like
probably.
that's a good
Probably.
capstone thing, which will be another like 3 or 4 years, but
Yeah. I don't think it's coming anytime soon, but Exia and Neos just sounds like such a cool pairing.
well, yeah, I mean,
I think Exia plus probably about any other element.
Neos would pair with a decent amount of the elements.
Yeah. Could you ever see them making like Neos second Exalted almost, where it's just hybriding with a bunch of other things?
I mean, yeah. I mean, eventually they'll hit a bunch more of these levers as they go along. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
part of the thing. I mean, they were talking about it for on the Magic side of thing, like that they probably did things to figure stuff out wrong on the hybrid situation. Sorry. And that if they had done asked people questions before they sent it out to the public and
Yeah.
everybody did videos on it, like hybrid would probably be there because it was hybrid solves design problems they want to fix
I
in
mean,
Commander,
hy-
but they're probably going to do something similar to hybrid, but not hybrid, just because everybody hit it so negatively to just making hybrid
I mean,
an or instead of an and.
there's a lot of hybrid cards in Lordwind Eclipsed.
Right, but and they'll do more, and then people were worried about the power level.
Yeah.
But I agree with Distraction Makers where they were saying that a lot of people are worried that it will make more 5-color decks and more 3-color decks that just go to touch everything. And for sure, it'll do some more degenerate things there, but that's already
Yeah.
fairly degenerate. You're not really being held back under the current rules.
Yeah.
But it would make mono and 2-color decks, which don't see a lot of in Commander, more prevalent because you could touch just briefly some of those things through the hybrid mechanic.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But I think some version that isn't exactly hybrid is going to be coming down the pipeline to fix those particular problems that Rosewater sees with Commander.
Yeah. Speaking of Commander, Pantheon in Grand Archive. It's coming
I'm
out.
pretty excited for it. I think,
They're doing the summit the 21st and 22nd of February
yeah.
while I'm at a regionals. So,
I mean, I won't be able to. I'll have to watch the summit later because it's my wife's birthday. But
yeah.
no, I think that'll be cool. I think the decks will get a lot
Well,
better as we see more of the boons, and then also
did you see
RDO adding in so much will be huge.
did you see the water boon that they just posted? Or they spoiled?
Think so, but I don't know.
It's so crazy. I'm so excited because I'm gonna be bringing a water gin to LA, and it runs a bunch of allies, and the water boon is it gives all your allies +1/+1 vigor and intercept. So it just makes you ungodly tanky as a water allies player.
At least it wasn't retaliate.
The retort
Googling
one?
look, yeah.
Yeah, just be like, all right, they have steadfast retort intercept.
Well, because retort is going to be huge in Pantheon.
Yeah.
And luckily, it's not that far in there because
No,
retort, you
the
can retort for any attack.
no, that's ambush.
Oh, ambush. I'm thinking
Ambush
ambush.
is
No.
the crazy
Yeah,
one.
ambush. I'm thinking ambush. I
I'm
was mixing
so
up ambush with retort.
I'm so ready. I have a Marianne CSR. I'm gonna be making a CL ambush deck that runs all the steadfast ambush cards and Marianne as like my big beater and just make her huge.
I think that might be the place where she actually shines because she's too she comes on too late
Yeah.
and with too much setup. And if you're gonna do that much setup and wait that much time, you're
I
you're
mean,
just gonna play Advent Oblation.
yeah, I mean, I played a standard deck with Marianne in it, and it felt really fun, and it wasn't too bad, but would it ever day two an ascent? No. Would it ever win a regionals? No.
I mean,
Maybe a store
you have a
champ.
rough chance of making a day 2 in Ascent, but you're in that bubble slot. That's where you're going in, and then that's where your story ends.
I mean, that was my experience with Polcock at Ascent Niagara, and I was so close. I was so sad. I ended 4-4, and I just happened to run into one of my hardest matchups 4 times in a row, and there's not much you can do about it.
What'll be interesting to see as we go into Los Angeles and beyond, as
Yeah,
Pantheon is there, is the attendance for the scrub out tournament.
that's a good point.
Is if how many people go into the scrub out tournament are like, you know what? I had my fill of competitive 60. I'm just going to play Pantheon on the side.
Yeah, or they might just play one round of scrub out, then drop if they lose, or even if they tie, because it's not like you get anything.
But it also depend on how they structure the Pantheon there.
I'm also curious,
Because like a lot of the Magic where you go to play
Commander.
at Grand Prix, at least when Commander was younger. So I
Yeah.
don't know recently. I haven't been to one in 12 years. Um, but they had 4 and go Commanders, but they all cost like $10. Like, and if you're gonna play a pile of quick Pantheons, that's a fast way to spend a lot of money,
Yeah.
and that might
So
deter people.
so something I'm curious about is if there is going to be an increase of people who come to play casually and not even sign up for Path of Steel and just play Pantheon from day one.
I think
Like,
there will be, but they're not necessarily going to travel. At least
no,
nowadays, people travel to the Magic Cons to play Commander and stuff like
yeah.
that. But it did not happen that way for a long time.
So,
It was any local who didn't
like,
really want to play the heavy competitive was for sure there, or the people that came that just, like, I know this person and I
like,
just thought I'd travel with them, but I
like,
don't want to play in the Path of
yeah,
Steel.
like we know a local player who is on the fence of if he wants to go or not, and he's not super excited for Pantheon, but just having access for a more casual format at the Ascent means that he's more likely to go because you don't have to buy a ticket to play Pantheon. You just, I think it does cost a side event ticket, which I'm not super huge on the fact that it does. If it does,
I mean, if
we'll
you're
know
giving
more
out
about it.
prizes and it takes staff and stuff, like it makes sense. It just has to be careful at
Well,
what level you price them at.
the
Because
side event tickets are $20 each.
if
So
it's that for each of those, then
yeah,
it'll warp the format to start with.
yeah,
So I could see them backing off from that because if you're spending $20 and there's prizes that are going to make it worth if you win spending $20,
yeah,
you're not getting the casual game they want. You're
yeah.
getting CEDH. Like
Yep,
that is by definition.
I agree. Well, the way that it
But
sounds
if
like
it's a side event ticket and you get to play
the way that it
for the day,
sounds,
it's not a big deal.
yeah, if it's for the day, that's fine. But the way it sounds like they're doing pricing for Pantheon is it's based off commendations. So,
Yeah, but
say,
it'll be somewhat still based off of winning. It's just the way games go.
I
That's a hard one to juggle if you're gonna if it's I don't know.
I think it's hard to juggle in a more streamlined way, but when you're the event coordinator and you can decide how it works, it might be now it could very well end up being that it's easy to rig because you just play with four friends and you just commend each other.
I think that problem isn't going to be as prevalent.
Yeah.
By what it sounds like they were talking about them pushing in the Omnidex thing,
Yeah.
where you register your deck and your champion,
Yeah.
and then it pairs you so that you have different champions.
Yeah.
So it's not the first 4 people that signed up are put at the
Play, yeah.
table, right? So it's
Now,
like I'm assuming the first round will be like, all right, we're going to start the first round, and then everybody is just paired,
yeah.
and so then that being 30
Some
of you being paired into or 32, that's a
yeah.
divisible by 4, paired into tables, and then it just goes off of how fast you win or lose and everything else to keep
Yeah.
randomizing those pairings. That solves that rigging problem.
Yeah. Now, something that I sent a tweet or whatever you would call X. I don't know. I don't use it ever, but
Hello.
um I just responded to one of Siladar's posts on X, and I was like, "Hey, at a sense, for the casual format Pantheon, are you allowing proxies?" Which is an interesting question
Yeah,
because, like, it
because
is
it's
it
not.
is an official event, and you do get VP for participating, but it is a casual format, and
And
Grand
you get
Archive,
VP plus for locals, and you're allowed to play proxies.
yeah, yeah, and Grand Archive is a extremely proxy friendly game. So I'm curious if they're going to allow proxies at events like this. And also to add to that, because I'm bringing an entire proxy deck, like I think I've told you about it a couple of times.
Oh yeah, yeah, you were drawing on that
Yeah,
picture
I'm
so good.
I'm making a custom art deck for Jin that's all LA themed.
And now that you mentioned it on the podcast, that you're
I
gonna have
have
to
to do
show
it.
it off.
I have to do
You
it.
have to bring it, and you're gonna have to show it off on camera now.
Oh,
So,
it
like,
will
it's
it will not be ready until probably the day
hey,
before
that doesn't
the day
at
before I
that point in
leave.
time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll definitely show it off. But um the stuff like that is really creative and really cool to show for a more casual end, because I 100% understand not doing that for professional, where you're not allowed to just draw on your cards. That makes sense.
Well, I mean, there's lots of reasons to not allow that. I
Yeah,
mean, because Magic went through a very try-hard time
yeah,
where there was way too many cash events and too much going on, so everybody thought they would get there. And so, like, being able to draw on your cards could alter the weight. And if you
yeah,
were that into it, now a lot of times it was okay, and you just went and talked to the judges beforehand and showed them, and like you made sure you had extra copies.
yeah.
Because like we had a local artist here that on the Psychotogs, I have to remember the real name because we all called it something different. And then it went throughout the country and stuff like that. But they drew stitches, so they were Stitchatogs.
Okay.
Um, was definitely a thing
Like
that
Stitch,
if
like Lilo and Stitch?
oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
if it was like Stitch
No,
from
no, no,
Warcraft.
no. Lilo and Stitch. So they were
Okay.
Stitchatogs, and so like wired into my brain that way.
Yeah.
There wasn't, and then different things on like angers and stuff like that. But like, so you had to watch that. But I mean, that's also I was surprised getting back into card games that we could have sleeves with designs on them because that was a thing you couldn't have
Oh,
because
really?
well you could hide marks on there better. And
Oh,
then so that was how degenerate people would get
okay.
because if it, like some character, you could hide a thumb print or thumbnail in groove into one of like the elbow or something like that on like
Yeah.
one set of, one particular card. And you could even maybe pass a deck check where they looked for it, but you know what you're looking for because you put it there and it,
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be pretty suspicious when you're draw your card, then you're like, is
well,
that
mine, yeah, I'm never getting away with that. That's, it's just I'd have to turn the card over to look like, yeah.
is this it?
Yeah. So I'm looking at the back of the card. Yeah.
Guys, I swear I'm not marking. Just let me check the back of my sleeve.
What I've noticed even on camera games, I mean, the recent Ascent being a very big marker was was close to a win and in situation. He was
Yeah.
one more round away, but close to that on day two, and his opponent scooped to him. Like, what? Didn't ask, didn't anything else,
Yeah.
and that's how Caban got into the top 8.
Yeah.
Like he could have easily have lost if they'd have played, or that would have really likely have been a draw would have gotten him out of that too. So
I was curious if stuff like that's allowed.
you cannot, you can always scoop to your opponent
Okay.
in almost every game I played.
But
Even
I know you're. So I talked to a judge about like IDs because whenever I was in Niagara, I was the round before the round that I was playing my win, and then I'm pretty much in day 2. I was like, okay, if I win this round and I go to my next round opponent, and I'm like, hey, would you like an ID? How do I go?
the general rule of thumb, at least from Magic standpoint, I mean, the rules could have been
Yeah.
updated, was you're allowed to ask once.
Yeah.
And only once, right?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to pester about it. You're not allowed to do anything else about it. And you for sure never, even in the one ask, are allowed to talk about any form of compensation.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Different games
Handle it differently.
are a lot more worried about intentional draws and they want their players to always play every round.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's an argument for it, but on the other hand, like
I mean,
you did well in the early stages.
I mean,
but
for Grand Archive, at Worlds, IDs are bad for you because they count as 2 losses.
so that's where a lot of them went to. Lorcana for a while, it was not allowed, period,
Yeah.
which was not very enforceable. So then they went to count as double losses, and I don't know what they're at now.
Yeah.
Because people just kind of secretly did, but they had the
Well,
what I would argue is a terrible thing of best of 2.
yeah. Well, Grand Archive's double loss is just for Worlds, just so they get a top 8 that's guaranteed top 8. There's
Yeah.
no like bubble boy for.
But I believe like Yu-Gi-Oh has a double loss system as well for
Yeah.
of any kind.
Yeah. So
Like
scooping.
ID or not, it
Yeah.
counts as a double loss, and that
So
hasn't been uber popular so far.
so scooping to your opponent is generally allowed in games, though.
Yeah, I mean, but if at any point in time it was found out that you were pressured into it,
Yeah.
or that
Offer
there was
something.
any compensation, then
Yeah.
that's where you get your bannings. And
Yeah.
those are almost every game will hand those out retrospectively. They won't be like, even if they miss it thereof and they came out with a thing, they'll be like, you know, you're done playing for today, and we'll see you in 6 months or 3 years or never. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
but I mean, the games are at Grand Archive levels throughout, even at the tops, they are still friendly and stuff like that in
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah.
And that's,
I mean, I've played
I
against.
mean, I guess Magic tops were that way,
Yeah.
but the middle tables were just everybody going what I call the tryhards.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have enough skill to get there, but by all means, they were going to do every dirty trick to try to get there.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that did for them because people
They
like
didn't get there.
Finkel and Reduke and um, the late Kai Boone would just hand them their lunch, right? Like they would love those players to get into the top 8 because it's just
Yeah.
an auto win for them, right? One, they're going to catch their cheating shenanigans, and there's cameras and
I
stuff like
mean,
that.
there was a guy who, I think this was like 3, 4 months ago, who was cheating at the Lorcana World Championship on stream.
Yeah.
Like, people will cheat.
Yeah. I
Which
mean,
is
they still will,
crazy.
and obviously there's a thousand notorious Magic cheats, but
Yeah.
you, for the most part, don't get to stay at the top tables.
Yeah.
Like the people that are there with these long careers,
I can't
most of them don't cheat. They're
think
just
off
good.
I can't think off the top of my head if there's been any like huge cheating scandal in Grand Archive yet.
I mean, not that I'm
Not that
aware
I'm
of.
aware of. So,
I mean, Lorcanis had several, but there was so much money behind those golden Mickeys and stuff like that.
yeah.
So that makes sense. Plus, they consider it a kids game, so that that brings a lot of people to it. Like, there was one of the more prominent streamers who, kind of like Caben is for us,
Yeah.
who plays and stuff, and he streams his games right from
Yeah.
the channels, and his opponent completely cheated on camera, like like not even like a subtle cheat, like absolutely blatantly cheating. And then so that like that was called out. And then
I
of
mean,
course, because it was against one of the like prominent streamers who this guy knew. He's
yeah.
like, oh man, I'm such a big fan. And then just cheated his ass off and yeah, like didn't go well. Like,
Look, if someone wants to cheat against me, I'll just say, okay, judge.
I mean, I'll miss it. I mean, that's kind of the problem with
Yeah,
what I go.
being blind.
But then, I mean,
I mean, if you're cheating against the blind guy, that says more about
right,
them
like
than anything about
I
you.
feel bad for whatever's in your life causes you to think that you have to cheat against the blind guy,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna steer clear of you because funny for backgrounds, but that means you're probably gonna go postal soon if that's where you're at in your life. Like you don't need
Yeah.
to be against me. Like you can have your win. I hope you have a better day. Go get some damn therapy. And let's never play again.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever played someone in Grand Archive yet, or it really in pretty much any card game where I'm like, I really just don't want to play against you again. Even like some of my opponents that they weren't my favorite people to play against ever, I still would play against them again because they were nice enough at playing the game. It's just they were a little bit.
I mean, I had several Magic players that I would never want to play Magic against, but like I played so many games in Magic. Like it's
Yeah.
really such a tiny percentage. Like I probably played 4 or 5 tournaments a week,
Yeah.
right? Like easily.
Yeah.
And
I'm
like I played some
relatively.
giant tournaments because Magic Grand Prix were
Yeah.
like over 1,000 players. So like the few times that came up really is like less than a percentage of the players that are bad, but
Yeah.
like those are the ones you really remember. So
Yeah, and I mean, I'm relatively new to card games. I've only been playing card games for about a year now. A little
I
bit
mean,
more.
especially at most of your locals, you could have a couple people that are generally degenerate, but they're usually at the last stop card store
And
that'll keep them in the area. They're usually friends with the owners, and
yeah,
it's all the like it's every red flag and shady thing
yeah,
about the store. Otherwise, the locals kind of police their own things. Like
yeah.
you watch
Like
people not wanting to trade with them. It's people like as you'll go out to dinner or something like as a group, that person's not invited.
yeah, yeah,
Like oh no, sorry, I gotta go do this. I can't play.
or you
Comes
just
up a lot.
or you just get matched into them round one, and you're like, you know what, you can have the win.
Yeah. Whatever. It's not even worth me playing.
Yeah.
There was one guy because I played Tooth and Nail for a long time, which had to have its like mana base specifically,
Okay.
lands that produced extra, and so land destruction deck was just an auto loss. There was absolutely no way to win that match
Yeah.
ever. Like just there's no sideboarding, no drawing like that
Yeah.
you're gonna win. Like, and there's one guy who would always play land destruction. I'm like, dude, seriously, just tell me that's the deck you're playing, and you can have the win, and we can go get lunch, right? Like, and he would never tell me, just ever. And then, like I'm already in it, I might as well finish, got into my head, and then for a while, and then eventually I was just like, no, I'll just quit even as soon as I realize it,
Yeah.
because I could take the one loss in the tournament,
Oh,
but being tilted for the rest of the tournament was far worse.
Yeah. Oh, you played Strip Mine. Okay. Have a good one.
Well, I mean, we weren't playing Vintage, but
I don't know what
or Legacy, but it
know
was
what
standard at the time. But
I don't
yeah,
know what Tooth and Nail is.
so it was during Mirror Blocks. Tooth and Nail, and this is a good rule of thumb for anybody looking at Magic, is generally if something costs 7 or more and it's a sorcery, it's usually bustable at some point in time in Magic.
Yeah.
Like there's hoops to jump through, but those
there's-
hoops
if-
are worth it.
If there's
So-
a way for you to play something that costs 7 for free, do it.
Yeah. So Tooth and Nail is cost 7, 2 of it's green, and it had kicker of 2.
Okay.
And if you were counting out your mana, it always rhymes. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, Tooth and Nail entwined. So I always stuck it in my head. But so Tooth and Nail, either you could choose one of 2 modes, or if you kicked it, you could do both.
Yeah.
Which it was either search your deck for 2 creatures and put them into your hand, or put 2 creatures from your hand into play.
Oh,
Cards resolve on top to bottom.
I've
So
played
if
that.
you Tooth until entwined, you search for 2 creatures and then put them into
Yes.
play.
I've played that card.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you were getting silly creatures,
I mean, it's still good in Commander.
like I played Darksteel Colossuses at the regionals, I won with it,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "That's not very good." I was like, "Yeah, I heard that because he's 11/11 for 11 with trample, and then if you put in a graveyard, he shuffles in, but he's indestructible. That's what he is, just generic beatstick." And everybody be like, "He's not very good. You sure that's what you want to get? Like, don't you want to get like name 2 other card combos that do something and give you turns or whatever?" And I'd be like, "Nah, I think I'm going to go with this." They'd be like, "Oh, okay. What do you have my life total on?" I'm like, 20, which is what you start with in Magic. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what I thought. I'm going to scoop now. Like,
Yeah.
the good old 20 life scoop.
Yeah. I'm ready for.
And then they made him worthless because they printed Blightsteel Colossus, who had poison. So
Yeah. I'm ready for a card similar to Tooth and Nail, but not quite. Awaken Ombre to hit a point where there is enough dudes that are worth cheating out for it to be a good deck.
I mean, if you have them, don't get rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you are just tossing things onto an order and you like Reanimator style decks, pick those up. Like, because that's why games have to be careful with Reanimator like effects, because they only ever get better.
I mean, Spectral Hunting's another one. 6 cost though, and I mean it's Spooky Alice. I guess you could play it in any Umbra deck, but
It doesn't have its discounts, but like eventually that won't be a problem either.
yeah, I mean
Like,
you're
there'll
also
be something that'll come along.
you're also not really targeting specters for what we're talking about for like big boys.
Yeah.
So the class bonus really doesn't matter too much.
But all you're waiting for is basically a Gristlebrand like creature
But-
to suddenly be ally B.
A card
Maybe.
that could already be there coming out in RDO is the Argus Defender.
Maybe.
Isn't he like 6'10" with Omni Shroud?
Yeah, I mean,
And bigger?
he could very easily be, or he could just
Suck.
be a red herring trap, like
Yeah.
all over the place.
He
Like,
could just be a Pantheon card.
yeah, I mean, for sure.
He's a Pantheon card for sure, but
Right, because
Yeah.
find one of. I actually think people will find that there'll be more staples that they think that'll be in most Pantheon decks than they're thinking of,
I think
and then there'll also be. I think
Dungeon Guide.
I'd almost play all the guys.
Yeah.
I think I'd play one of each of the guys if I was playing a level 3.
Not Morgan Soul Guide.
I probably would. Morgan Soul. I'd probably play Blanche too, as just part
I
of
would
it.
play. I would play Blanche. I don't
Because
think I would
those,
play Morgan.
well, I mean, it still shuts off random decks at different times. So those,
Yeah,
I mean, if you're only taking like 10 cards out of your deck to play guides and a few other staple random creatures that are like norm,
I'll be honest. I don't think Liminal Guide ever goes in.
I think so. I actually do. I think there's enough
Really?
times where you random, because you could, if you drew it and you just played it early, even as a win, I was considering it. Because if you just drew it and played early, like it's gonna die, and then
No,
like you
it's
level up
not.
later.
Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, 1 damage ping at a random person." I
Okay,
don't care.
so then he just gets in all day long.
Yeah, but
Then he'll be like the best beater you have. He'll be like the one that does the most amount of damage.
yeah, you're just gonna be like, "Okay, I put a buff cap
I
in
mean,
my Liminal
Commander
Guide."
has all sorts of cards like that, or they, at least they used to until we had like so many cards in the thing.
Yeah,
And you mean like the Lonely Llanowar Elf was the beat stick of green versus control all day long. Like he's killed more blue players than any other creature at a green sideboard.
that's funny. But no, I think some staple cards. One card that I'm super excited to show off in Pantheon. I don't know if I want to say it here because it's a super toxic card.
It's still one of, and there's not very many tutors.
That's true. It's Conduit of Blood, Bloodfire. That card is so funny. It's so good, and it is the ultimate hug box card because it just resets everyone to 0 damage counters.
I mean, you could, but there's a couple
And you
slight tutors, and there's one
and you can flicker them
one
a
full
bunch.
tutor in Grand Archive.
Yeah.
So if you played Looking Glass, or Luxem, you could get like a bunch of tutors.
You just play 2 tutors.
Like, because
I
you
mean,
have like Chamber of Reflections.
You have a guaranteed one.
Your Chamber of Reflections,
Well,
and Luxera's map.
you don't have to play Xander. You could play.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's why I changed
play
it over
Goja.
to, yeah, you could play Goja. And I'm guessing Morgan. I'm guessing Morgan is Luxem.
Oh, Mordred.
Mordred, not Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be so funny playing. I think a card that's going to be super underrated in Commander, 2 of them, is Fleetfoot Philly. Fleetfoot Philly is going to
So
be
good.
so
good.
good in Commander.
You'd be
And-
like, that card's not good. Dang it. I'm gonna suppress. Dang it. That person's gonna suppress it. Dang it. Like it's just gonna slowly creep up there all day long.
Another one is Biako. I think Biako is going to be really good in Pantheon because he gets vigored up every turn. So at the end of your turn, so like you never want to be the guy who sacrifices something to kill the Biako.
Well, especially because like one, he's Luxem, so I'm gonna play Luxera's map, and I'm gonna have one Advent of the Shenju for sure.
Oh,
chilling.
100%.
It's like I'm gonna go tutor now. What are you tutoring? You're not. Of course I am. Of course I am. Like,
and even then, like say you're going for a kill turn, you can just or you're going for a kill turn next turn, and you just have Advent of the Senju. You can reveal it in your memory, banish your entire hand, and get a whole new hand if your hand's really bad.
I wonder if we're gonna see more cards like Tabula of Salvage as boons or something like that.
Maybe. You know what's gonna be real fun? The politicking with Nullifying Mirror. Because if you're playing against a Xander player and they have like Dawn of Ashes out, say you and your buddy are making like a 2-player deck kind of where one person's got the Nullifying Mirror and the other person's playing Xander, and you have Dawn of Ashes and you reveal a Lightweaver's Assault as Xander 1. It's a norm card because of the Nullifying Mirror.
Now that we have like Pantheon stuff, like you could easily play a version of Two-Headed Giant Pantheon. You could play Emperor Pantheon. Like just having to play as 3 or 4 people is just a guideline. And I mean that's why you play at the Ascents. But if you're playing at your local store or your buddy's house, like
but just the fun thing is getting like cards that force you to reveal from your memory, like Dawn of Ashes, hitting a Lightweaver's Assault. That's a norm class bonus, and you just Lightweaver's Assault people at level 1. Like that's such a fun little thing that you can only do in. I guess technically you could do it in Standard if your opponent is Nullifying Mirroring you for some reason, but when you have Donna Bashes on the board. But like
The
that's
most
just
normal of situations.
yeah, but that's a permanent Donna Bashes on the board if you have nullifying mirror that can target yourself and just Donna Bashes because it turns everything normal.
Yeah.
That's like a really weird
Which is
tech.
probably also why nullifying mirror says opponent.
Yeah, it is.
Because
Yeah,
otherwise,
because I've thought about it.
yeah, because you'd just be doing that to yourself all day long.
But
Like, this isn't for you. Don't worry about it.
all right, well,
I
we
think we
are
recorded an absolute ton here.
yeah, we're at an hour. So is there anything you want to say on our way out? What
So, like,
tournaments
I have some ideas for future things I want to look at. And one idea is that games that had fans that made alternative ways to play that weren't necessarily
Yeah.
created by the game star. So if anybody wants to send us some of those, because I know Magic and Great Archive, and like I don't know as many of the alternate formats created by fans. So if you guys want to tell us those, that'd be a good thing to dive into.
Yeah. And what tournaments are you going to be playing in the recent days?
I'll probably play Commander on Friday.
Mm.
And then I will be playing Grand Archive next Wednesday. Those are the two I'll get in. Oh, I'm running a game of Dungeons and Dragons. So
Okay.
on Sunday.
Fun. I'm going to be playing Commander on Friday. Probably. I might skip this Friday because I'm getting ready for regionals, which is happening Sunday. It's the TCG online regionals, the first one. So I'm going to be playing in that, representing my Fractals Gin. Let's go. And then I will also be at the Grand Archive Locals on Wednesday. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else going on next week.
I mean, it's kind of
Well,
we're at that time where there's a little
actually,
more stuff. People
ne
aren't available as much.
next week, so we're recording these on Thursdays, as far as
Hmm.
I'm aware
Yeah.
for the time being, into the future. Next Thursday is the day before I leave for Phoenix Regionals as well. So I'll be talking about what list I'm taking to that
Sounds good.
next week. So that'll be an interesting conversation because I have a regionals that I'm going to practice with, and I'm sure me and you are going to be testing it a couple of times before then.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still worried about my pony toss matchup. Still have only ever played that deck once at a store champs and lost. Almost won it,
I
but
mean, it's one of those decks I really need to sit down with somebody that knows the deck and has the deck and just go over what is good against them.
yeah,
Because I think I have it figured out, and then it backfires on me. Like that's been my like I've solved one part of the problem that they present, and I
yeah,
for sure run into the next problem.
yeah. But either way, anyway, I think that is going to be enough for us today. I'm Zook or Dante, whatever you want to call
And
me.
Little Rock Friend.
Uh, See ya.
Be welcoming, be an advocate for the community. See you at the table.